If you've got a thirst for knowledge and a love for craft beer, then tune in to our podcast and let us bend your ear. From UFOs to rock and roll, you'll be ROTFL, you're AO. Saying, are you shitting me?
Welcome to another edition of Are You Shitting Me? I am one of the hosts, Brett. With me is my co-host, Chuck.
What's going on, Brett? How you doing?
I'm doing well. Doing well. What about you?
Just living
Right
the
on.
life.
We got an exciting episode for everybody today. We're going to ease into things for Chuck so he can get his feet wet. We have a crowd favorite, our random questions episodes. So we thought we'd do one of those for everybody today and for Chuck. And Chuck and I will try to answer questions as we go along and have a little fun with this. Unlike past episodes, we're not rolling any dice or playing with cards or anything like that. I just got a list of questions I think are fun. But there you go. This is a first for AYSM. As our loyal listeners know, we sample a craft beer with each episode.
Maybe it was the label, maybe it was the name. Could be gold or totally lame. What are we sipping on?
And this episode, we were going to be trying Raspberry Hooray by Microphone Brewing Company out of Elk Grove, Illinois. Fun little music-related brewery up there. And the key word was we were going to sample this. I dropped the can, Chuck. So
What happened, Brett?
yeah, I had too much oil or something on my hands. I don't know. So we're
working on your Jeep.
yeah, we are not going to be sampling a beer, but if we were, it was going to be Raspberry Hooray, which is a wheat ale with raspberries. And on Untapped, it's got a 3.8 rating out of 390 ratings. It sounded like a great beer, but is gone too soon and no longer with us. So sad.
Just like the artist who it was obviously named after, and so to speak. So 2016, April 21st, 2016. Rest in peace, Prince.
Gone too soon.
Yeah, just an interesting tidbit too. If you are to Google when did Prince die, so it'll pop up, gives a little Wikipedia thing, and then who were Prince's band members, gives 5 of his band members, and then it puts Prince piano. The guy really, one of the greatest musical geniuses in all of music history, who played every instrument, wrote all the music. I'm sure he had collaborators and whatnot, but pretty much put everything together, but just puts him down as Prince piano. Not that that's not an important
and
instrument to play, but he did much more than that.
Yeah, and forget the fact that he,
funny.
yeah, like one of his albums, he played every instrument.
He did. I think for a lot he played.
Yeah.
I want to say for a lot of the recordings he played every instrument. It certainly goes down in music history.
Absolutely. All right. I wish we had the Raspberry Hooray. It smelled good. I'll give you that, guys. So we will not be doing a rating for Raspberry Hooray, but let's get right into discussion here, Chuck. What's the most embarrassing song that you secretly love?
Anything from Nickelback.
Why you gotta be a hater?
Because you're not supposed to like Nickelback, according to the internet. But
they're like,
I actually appreciate them and think that they got some good songs.
Got to acknowledge that they're making money. They're like the number 11th top selling band. I don't know what it is. You know what? Scratch that. I don't know. I'm gonna make up some fact, and I don't know.
You may get some stat.
Yeah, I have to go.
You're probably right on. You're actually probably right on that.
I'm telling you,
they got to be like, if not Canada's biggest rock rush. Okay, so we'll say at least one of Canada's biggest
Canadians
of all time.
Yeah.
Canadians. Yeah.
I can't say that I'm a fan. Like, I don't own anything by them, but yeah. But the question, Chuck, was what's the most embarrassing song, not band? We'll edit this for time so it doesn't seem like you paused for so long.
Mariah Carey's Christmas songs, I really enjoy them, but I would never admit it to anybody.
I'm just picturing you cruising down the road,
Mm,
singing
blare it.
Mariah Carey.
Turn it up. I turn it up to 11.
That's an image.
Spinal Tap joke, if anybody got it.
Yeah. Oh no, I got it. But these go up to 11.
But these, yeah, go up to 11. Yeah. What would you say is your guilty pleasure of music?
Oh, of music in general?
That you would never admit to, the song.
Probably Whitney Houston.
Is there?
And-
Which song by Whitney Houston?
I think there was something about the children. Believe the children are the future. That one, no? Was that the right one?
That was by Michael Jackson, wasn't it?
I believe the children are the future. I don't know. Whitney.
I think that's Michael. Was it Whitney?
No, that's
I
no
thought
Michael
you were right.
Jackson. What was it?
What
Always
was the
Love
one
You,
that
or-
the police got called for your apartment? The Whitney Houston song. I thought you were going to say that one.
Yeah, I thought that was it. No, that was,
Did you have a roommate that was singing the Whitney Houston song and
he
the
was-
police got called or whatever?
he was a douche, so I don't like to talk about him.
What an asshole!
I'm gonna have to Google it. I will always love you,
Yeah,
Whitney
there you
Houston.
go.
Yeah,
All right, fair
yeah.
enough.
You remember when you were singing that and you had the cops show up? See,
They were surprised. That was me.
yeah. Wow, you really have an amazing vocal range.
Yeah, yeah.
See, something you forgot is I get to do the editing, so I can edit that and make it sound like it was all you now. All right. If you had to torture somebody, what song would you use to torture them into giving up secrets?
Anything by REM.
Dude, that's funny because I have heard REM like 7 times in the last 4 days on Sirius Radio. So weird.
Because they got it in their loop. If you listen to any radio station, any classic rock, or alternative.
They're
rock
not
from
classic rock.
90s, but they play them on the clip. We did a whole podcast on this, Brett.
I know. All right.
All right.
What's your personal karaoke hell? You work at a place that does karaoke periodically.
Every other Saturday.
Yeah. And what song just nails on a chalkboard for you when it comes on? Mine is We Are Family. That song, and when it gets played at a wedding or if it's karaoke with a group of women or whatever, oh, put me out of my misery. I cannot stand that song.
How about that Frozen song?
From the
Sometimes
movie Frozen?
Yeah, sometimes if it's early in the night, you'll get the moms up there with their daughters. Everybody
Oh.
knows what I'm talking about but I just can't think of the name of the song.
Let It Go.
Let It Go. Yeah, that one drives me crazy now. I can't.
Oh.
I
Now you
just
got
heard it
a
so many times.
you got a daughter that's about that age, right?
No,
Does she like that?
She just turned 13 now. She doesn't know. She
Okay,
did back
but
in the day, but
right, that's what I'm saying. Like she was of the right age when that was a popular movie.
yeah, but now I don't want to hear it anymore.
Well, nobody wants to hear it. I can't even tell you who sings that. Demi Lovato, isn't it?
Is it Demi
Yes.
Lovato?
Yeah. It is.
Did you just
All
look it
right.
up?
Yeah. You think I know that?
You do know that because you sing that song in the shower. Jen walked in on you the other day. I didn't know you were home.
What are you doing? Let it go, babe. All right. How about how often do you listen to music?
Every day.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't have a day that I don't listen to music. Of course, it's on in the car, that and AM radio. But, what?
Yeah, I'm the same way. It's between talk radio and music.
Yeah. Or podcast, of course. You already mentioned classic rock. What kind of genres are you into? Which ones are your favorites?
My go-to is classic rock. Big blues guy. Big alternative, hard rock alternative, metal, new metal, which I like a lot too, which is like hard rock alternative.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then like in the car, we're listening to a lot of pop, hip hop, pop,
Yeah, but you're
some rap.
I say you're a really big rap guy now, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm huge into rap. I like the old school rap. New stuff, I don't know, kind of hard to.
Oh, little Beastie Boys.
Love the Beastie Boys.
Yeah, see, they're not rap to me. I get that there's like a rap
I
element to it,
think
but
this conversation has been had many times, and I think
you and I have never had this.
I've had it with other people, and I think for them, well, let's first of all, if you go down the Beastie Boys rabbit hole, they started out more as a punk band.
Yeah.
Like their first album was like punk, and then they got into the rap thing, and then I just think that they took it into their own thing, and they created their own subgenre of music, which was just a collaboration of all of that rock, rap, punk, and
So
just made it their own thing. And it's hard to put them in a box. And I don't think like old school hardcore rappers want to give them the credit that this do, but I certainly think that they have their place in music history. Super creative. Look at all the stuff that they put out.
yeah,
Pretty
they're
awesome.
to me they're Chili Peppers. Like they're not really rap, but they're not like heavy metal. But they're
It depends on what song.
yeah. Okay, fair
You
enough.
got they have a whole bunch of songs that's definitely rap. Then they have a whole bunch of songs which is rock rap. Then they have this other stuff that's just in between everything. It's pretty neat.
Sound like Scooby Doo. Rock rap.
Rock rap.
Rutro. All right. I know the answer to this, but our listeners and viewers don't. Do you enjoy dancing, Chuck? And what kind of music is good to dance to?
I don't really. I mean, I do, but I really don't know how to.
You just
I
do
used
that.
to
You
be a
bite your
big.
lip.
I used to be a big break dancer when I was younger, but
Oh, please find me a picture.
I'll show you some.
I'll-
But I'm too old, and my body is definitely not capable of doing any of that anymore.
you do a little bachata, don't you?
Marrying into a Mexican family, that is a lot of fun, but I still don't really. I know how to do a little, but I don't know how to do as much as I would like to. And I have a very impatient wife that doesn't really help me get better at it. She's really good at it. I would
It's
definitely.
just pulling your hands up like this, isn't it?
Yeah, it depends on what it is, but I certainly do have an appreciation for all Latin music, Latin beats, the dance, the culture to it. It is
Yeah.
a whole thing in itself. It is a lot of fun, and I truly understand why people are so passionate about it.
Yeah. I
And I would like to get better at it.
yeah. Okay, so best music to dance to?
Cumbia. Cumbia is probably a little bit easier, simpler steps.
Okay. I don't even know what that is, so I thought
How about
my
for
my
you? What about for you?
my my favorite song is any that I can do like at my daughter's daddy daughter dance or back when we were in middle school or high school standing up against the wall of the gym and just that's the best kind of music to dance to. I don't know.
You
I
just do the kind of like the shuffle back and forth.
you
And
remember when we were I don't know in freshman year or so going to a school dance. It was like I don't know, maybe Molly Ringwald started it, but everybody would just stand in a circle and everybody dancing in a circle.
yeah,
I don't know if they still do that. I think they do more mosh now.
nobody really teaches you dance when you're growing up, right?
Dude, I had in elementary school, we were taught square dancing for
Yes,
a unit.
So were we.
And
Which thinking about it now though, what's trendy now though that people do? Line dancing, right? Square dancing
Yeah.
is
yeah,
is
similar.
in that. So who would
Yeah.
have ever thought?
Let's break down music real quick and songs. What makes you like a song? Is it the melody, the lyrics, something else?
A little bit of both. Usually more the melody. I think that's usually what gets you first. Half the songs you don't even know what the words are to them, really, or you're not singing them correctly, or
Oh,
you
for
don't
sure.
understand them.
All the above. For me, I don't know if it's my hearing or what, but if I'm at a restaurant or in a store, and especially if I don't know the song, it's just background noise. I'm not listening and trying to decipher what's playing or who it is or like what the lyrics are. It's all just noise.
Yeah.
Does that make me old? No.
Yeah, it does actually.
Okay. That's fine. All right. Have you ever walked out of a concert?
I've walked out of not a concert. It was a local band that they're pretty popular around here in the Chicago suburbs, and I can't stand them. The attitude that they have, you would think that they're Van Halen, and they're not. And I just ended up leaving early. I don't know. For whatever reason, everybody holds them such high regard, and I just don't get it. I don't know what it
Yeah.
is. Anyway, yeah, that's
Thanks. That's good stuff. All right. Let's do speed poll questions for you. I'm going to ask you like a this or that type of scenario, and you, without thinking too much, if you need to explain something, I'll let you explain it. But yeah. All right. You ready for this?
let's do it, man.
All right.
Are you ready for this?
You all ready for this? Led Zeppelin or the Rolling Stones?
Zeppelin,
Queen or Aerosmith?
Queen,
GNR or Van Halen?
you can't do that, man.
That's a tough one.
I'm gonna go GNR.
Wow. ACDC or Def Leppard?
Oh, AC/DC,
Foo Fighters or the Chili Peppers?
Foo Fighters. No,
Leonard
actually, no,
Skinner.
Chili Peppers.
Oh, okay. Leonard Skinner or ZZ Top?
Leonard Skinner.
The Who or the Doors?
The Who.
Springsteen or Petty?
Petty.
That is the right answer. REM or The Cure?
The Cure.
Name a Cure song.
You know that one.
Yeah, I do know that one. Do you?
No.
All right, let's change it here a little bit. Go a little punky. The Ramones or the Clash?
Clash.
Green Day or Blink 182?
Green Day.
All right. How about Police or Blondie? Oh, that's,
Police.
yeah, that one's easy. The Cars or Talking Heads?
Cars.
Really? All right. Rancid or Dropkick Murphys?
Dropkick Murphy.
Beatles or the Rolling
Okay.
Stones?
Stones.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Fleetwood Mac
Love
or the
Beatles.
Eagles?
I love the Beatles, but I just what was that? Fleetwood Mac or who?
Fleetwood Mac or the Eagles?
Eagles.
I am not an Eagles fan. I acknowledge
Well,
that
they're one of the best selling bands of all time. So
I acknowledge that. Weren't they like number
you should
two?
probably respect them a little more.
No, I respect them. I just don't
I
like
think
the music.
they're even more than the Beatles, to be honest with you.
No. Chuck, go back and listen to the Beatles episode that we did not too long ago. Smashing Pumpkins or Soundgarden?
Soundgarden.
Interesting. Pink Floyd or Jimi Hendrix?
Hendrix.
Judas Priest or Iron Maiden?
Iron Maiden.
Okay. Skid Row or Gray White?
Great White.
Scorpions or White Snake?
White
That's a
Snake.
good one. Winds of Change.
Winds of Change. They actually have a whole bunch of other stuff before they became popular in America.
I got another one for you. System of a Down or Linkin Park? That's a good one.
That was a good one. I think I'm going to go with Linkin Park on that one.
Okay.
Either or, though. A lot of these could go either or. Yeah, that's why I don't really like it when people ask you to either or bands. I think it's very unfair to the bands.
Oh, how so?
I think it depends on the day and what kind of mood you're in, and sometimes a lot of times you forget like what a band has in their catalog until you go back and listen to them. Oh, hey, I forgot they had that song. Especially a lot of those bands that you're asking; those are older bands.
Yeah.
So you forget what they had. So
for sure.
I don't know. And then I don't. There are bands that are better than other bands, but A lot of bands are you just appreciate them for what they are. You're not really there to compare them to another band, even though we do all the time.
I
You know
don't.
what I mean?
No, I don't do that. I don't ever compare bands or singers or
Yes,
anything.
you do. Yes, you do. You compare
No,
guitarists.
but we did have a good guitar episode. People should go back and listen to that.
It's one of the best ones that's out there.
It's up there, yeah. But I've said it before and I'll say it again. For me, music is all about the moment and the way I feel, where I am, who I'm with.
Yeah.
And that dictates what I'm listening to. And there's a place for REM, but Billy Joel wins out every time. Yeah.
Oh.
Anyway,
He didn't start the fire, but
Chuck, tell me what you think about pop music these days.
I think pop music forever holds a place in our society, Brett. It'll always exist. It's not going anywhere. Whether you
Did
like
you write
it
a
or not.
script? Pop music is always near and dear to my heart. What the fuck?
So
Yeah, I'm guilty of ripping on pop music and it's just repetitive sentences over and over and it's really annoying. And like Umbrella is one of those songs to me. It's another nails on the chalkboard. Ella, Ella, oh. But then you go back and you look even in like the 80s, there were songs that were like that and they just haven't changed. The sound is different. Maybe the instruments, maybe it's all on a keyboard. I don't know.
There's a formula to it. There's definitely a formula.
But it works. And I used to definitely knock pop music, but teach their own.
So like I had mentioned before, it's the one thing you can put on your car and everybody in the family can listen to it. No one's really going to complain about it. If I put on hard rock alternative, it drives my wife crazy, right?
Yeah.
If I put on blues, modern blues, my family, some of them will like it. But no one wants to listen to Robert Johnson.
Yeah.
If I put on pop, then everybody's going to know what's playing.
Have you recently or fairly recently introduced anybody, whether your family or friends, to a new style of music and then they're actually like, oh, I like that? Specifically, I'm thinking, I was telling my brother and another guy, I'm like, oh, like Pussifer, they got some really good songs. A day or two later, dude, that's all I've been listening to. And I really like that.
That's the best way to discover a band is to get introduced to them. And then you go back and start going through their whole catalog and just take a deep dive. And there's nothing more exciting than the new discovery for you, but they've been around for a while and like finding what a band's all about and what they got out there. Like all the stuff you've never heard before. It's exciting. It's like it just reminds you like when you were younger and you'd buy the album and you'd listen to the album and you didn't know all the songs, so they didn't play them all on the radio. And you'd look at the artwork on the cover, you'd read the cover, try to figure out all the hidden meanings and whatever. It's just makes your whole listening experience more exciting.
Do you have one from like middle school or so? Like you just made me think of Quiet Riot. That was one. Like I listened to that.
I had that one. I got that for cassette. In fact,
Yeah.
that's funny that you mentioned that because I was just up in the attic and I saved a bunch of my old cassettes.
Yeah.
And I got a cassette of Living Color up there. I really like Vernon Reid as a guitarist. In fact, I'm a little upset with myself that I didn't mention him as an honorable mention in top guitarist because he is definitely out there on his own and done some really cool stuff. But anyway, I've always liked Living Color because they've always been different and done their own stuff.
Yeah.
And there's one up there I saw, I think it's the one with Cult of Personality on it. And I think I have the Beastie Boys cassette up there.
Nice.
License to Ill, and it had some other ones up there. But yeah, it's pretty funny.
That's awesome. All right. Chuck, you have any parting questions or thoughts that you'd like to throw into this very special music question episode?
What would be if you were on a deserted on a desert island, what would be the one album that you would?
Piano Man. Done.
For real?
That's awesome. No, wait, really? No, for no particular reason. It just popped into my mind. An album that or a cassette that I probably wore out and still could listen to like it's all new is 5150. Like,
Well,
just a good album.
that's yeah. That's yeah. No, that, I was thinking like I've been watching some YouTube clips actually of
AYSM. Got it.
yeah AYSM about Wolfie Van Halen, and he's been doing. I can't remember what that channel is where they have the different drummers come on and they try to figure out these songs
Oh,
that
yeah.
they have in which one I'm
Yeah.
talking about.
Like they listen to the song once for the first time and
Yeah,
they have to try to figure
supposedly.
out the beat.
So I have a hard time believing that some of those drummers haven't heard some of these songs. I got a real hard time with that. Sometimes they have, if they got like a jazz drummer on there who's just been studying jazz his whole life, maybe he
Sure.
hasn't heard this heavy metal song, maybe. But some of the other ones are like, come on, dude. If you listen to the radio, which I'm sure, I don't know. But anyway, he's been on there doing different things, and then he did this thing where he went back and played some of the like a tribute to Alex Van Halen, and he was playing some of the old Van Halen stuff, like different things, and they were playing
Is
some
that
stuff.
Alex Van Halen?
Yeah, his uncle,
Drum. Okay.
the drummer, because he was drumming, he
he-
wasn't playing guitar. Wolfgang plays every instrument. Just
Oh, I
like
didn't
his
know
father.
that. I thought it was just guitar.
No, he started
it.
out on drums actually. So he plays drums, he
Oh.
plays bass, he plays
Look
guitar.
at that.
I think he plays piano. In fact, for his albums, he went and he played every instrument on his albums, on the
He's
recordings,
just like Prince.
or just like his father.
Oh.
His father started out on drums originally too, and then guitar, and then
Yeah.
and actually Alex started out on guitar. Then they switched. He started out on guitar, and then he started playing drums, and then Eddie went to guitar, and just a talented family all around. But anyway, he was playing some 5150 songs that I forgot about. So that is
Yeah.
a good album.
Yeah. You?
Stuff. I don't know if I could pinpoint. I would say probably anything from
Nope. Gotta go. You
Zeppelin.
gotta do one. Zeppelin. All right. Physical Graffiti.
Physical Graffiti would be one. Houses of the Holy.
Yeah.
Maybe even Led Zeppelin 3. I'm actually a big fan of Led Zeppelin 3, and a lot of people aren't. And I just think it's got some different stuff on there that I really like. Friends. Hats off to Roy Harper. Tangerines on there. It's more of like their acoustic stuff, but it's a little different. That's it. That's all I got, Brett.
All right. So you asked the question, but you can't pinpoint one. Got it. All right. So
I didn't say you had to. I just asked the question to see where it was going to go.
Awesome. All right. So if we were trying a beer today, it was going to be Raspberry Hooray by Microphone Brewing. They're out of Elk Grove Village, Illinois. It smelled good. I wish I had tried it. Maybe we can go hit up Microphone Brewing and try it in person. If you liked what you heard today, make sure you like and follow us on all of our social media avenues. We've got Instagram and Facebook, and as mentioned, Untapped. Just search for AYSM podcast and we'll come up.
Leave us a review wherever you listen to podcasts, and be sure to check us out at our website, aysm.show. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a little bit confusing. I know people get confused with the .show instead of .com, but yeah, that's okay. All right, until next time, stay weird, keep on drinking, support your local breweries, listen to AYSM. Chuck, what are we going to be talking about next time?
Next time we're going to be talking about